Most dog owners feel that their dogs are their best friends.
Almost everyone likes dogs because they try hard to please their owners.
One of my favorite stories is about a dog who wanted his owner to please him. One of my friends has a large German Shepherd named Jack. These dogs are often very intelligent. Every Sunday afternoon, my friend takes Jack for a long walk in the park. Jack likes these long walks very much. One Sunday afternoon, a young man came to visit my friend. He stayed a long time, and he talked and talked. Soon it was time for my friend to take Jack for his walk, but the visitor didn't leave. Jack became very worried about his walk in the park. He walked around the room several times and then sat down directly in front of the visitor and looked at him. But the visitor paid no attention. He continued talking. Finally, Jack couldn't stand it any longer. He went out of the room and came back a few minutes later. He sat down again in front of the visitor, but this time he held the man's hat in his mouth. German Shepherds aren't the only intelligent dogs. Another intelligent dog is a seeing-eye dog. This is a special dog which helps blind people walk along the streets and do many other things. We call these dogs seeing-eye dogs because they are the eyes of the blind people and they help them to see. Seeing-eye dogs generally go to special schools for several years to learn to help blind people. One day, a seeing-eye dog and a blind man got on a bus together. The bus was full of people and there were no seats. One man, however, soon got up and left his seat. The dog took the blind man to the seat, but there was very little space. The dog began to push the people on each side of the seat with his nose. He pushed and pushed until the people moved down, and finally there was enough space for 2 people. The blind man then sat down and the dog got up on the seat beside him. He lay down and put his head on the blind man's leg. He was very comfortable and soon fell asleep. Everyone on the bus had to smile at the intelligence of the dog in making space for the blind man and, at the same time, making a place for himself. Dogs have been helping people for a long time. Most dogs are easy to train and are very faithful and loyal to their owners. Dogs which people keep as pets usually stay close to their owners or their owners' children to protect them. Some working dogs will even chase away wild animals. They will also find animals, such as sheep, that are lost. Working dogs help ranchers drive animals where they want them to go. Great Danes, Boxers, and Doberman Pinschers sometimes work with the police to help catch criminals. They are in a special part of the police department called the Canine Corps. Canine is pronounced the same as canine, which is an adjective that refers to dogs. Dogs like St. Bernards have a good sense of smell. They can smell where people have been and can follow their trail. The Swiss have used St. Bernards for 200 years to help find lost people. In the United States, bloodhounds help find missing people. These dogs can smell something which belongs to a person and then follow that scent to wherever the person is. Because of their fine sense of smell, many dogs have worked with soldiers and hunters. Foxhounds follow the scent of foxes, hunters then follow the hounds. Beagles and bassets have short legs, so they can hunt in areas where the bushes are close to the ground. They are slow animals, so hunters are able to follow them on foot. There are some interesting comparisons between humans and dogs in the area of smelling. Human noses have parts called membranes, which help us smell. A normal smelling membrane in a human nose is about the size of a quarter. In a dog, that same membrane is much larger. There are also differences in our brains that affect smelling. About 5% of the human brain tells us of the sense of smell. In a dog, that figure is over 30%. Dogs can also hear very well. They can hear a much higher sound than a person can. There are special whistles which people use to call dogs. People can't hear the whistles, but dogs can. It is interesting to note that all breeds of dogs have the same superior sense of hearing. In other words, dogs with raised ears hear just as well as dogs with long, floppy ears. Most people think of dogs only as pets and faithful companions, but dogs have worked alongside people for thousands of years. In addition to guiding the blind and hunting, they have served in many other areas of work. Many dogs have been used to transport goods. In parts of Greenland, Canada, and Siberia, dogs are still used to pull sleds. No other means of transportation has yet replaced them. These dogs, such as huskies and Samoyeds, work in teams of 8 to 15. They often pull loads as heavy as a ton, and they can cover a distance of 40 miles a day. Spaniels and pointers are the most popular of another type of working dog, the gun dog. These types of dogs search for game. When they find a wild animal or bird, they stop, stand perfectly still, and point their noses in the direction of the game. They are interesting to watch while they wait for their masters to shoot the game. They keep their muscles tense and their tails in straight lines with the rest of their bodies. Retrievers have a special function in hunting game. They don't point their noses, but they find the hunted game and carry it back to their masters. Many of these dogs, such as golden retrievers and Labradors, have waterproof coats. The Labradors originally came from Newfoundland, where sailors used them to retrieve fish that had escaped from their fishhooks. Retrievers are very gentle animals, and they are becoming popular as pets in many parts of the world.